I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-Minute Convos, where I help you create a brand of your own unique real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good night, Shira, Abel. How are you going on this wonderful, beautiful night?
Well, it's actually 3 p.m. here, so it's great. Nice and sunny and beautiful outside.
Are you in California?
I am.
Yeah.
But I'm in Northern California. Southern California right now is on fire, so I'm in a safe zone.
Oh, that's good to know. That's great to know. Well, do tell us, which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this time?
I actually think it's my podcast, SaaS Insider.
Right.
And
Tell us more.
we've done almost 90 episodes of interviews with SaaS leaders. SaaS being software as a service. It's a B2B podcast where we talk about growth, marketing, sales, culture in SaaS companies. It could be an enterprise or it could be a fast-growing startup. Anybody with a good story and experience in SaaS, they come on the show.
Okay. Who did you learn the skill of podcasting from?
So back in the day in college, I was a radio DJ for the university for a little bit, not for too long, but for a bit. And I've always been extremely curious, and I love asking questions. So between those two, it just naturally lent themselves to a podcast.
What was your favorite DJ jam back in the day?
Well, this was just college radio. It wasn't an actual proper job. So I don't think they even called it alternative back then. It would have been a grunge show, I guess. And then after that, a goth show. Okay. So that would have, this is a long time ago. I also have a marketing agency. We do PR and design for fast growing companies.
All right. So you were a DJ back in the day. You got into podcasting. You are the SaaS insider now, having conversations with individuals. Like, who did you learn that from, that community building element from?
I don't know. I think that it just came across naturally. I'm chatty. I like people, and I'm very observant. I also read a lot, and so I think all of it just kind of came together naturally.
And why will you continue to use these natural cumulative skills in the industry as you go forward?
Well, because this is what I essentially do for a living. I mean, with PR, you need to do outreach and build connections in order to get media. And with the design work, if you're not interested in people, it's really hard to design for people. Now, I'm not the one doing the design, obviously. I have a team. But on the design side, you have to understand how people think and what they're doing and be interested in them and care and make sure that the stuff that you're doing works for them. They have to be in your minds and in your heart, or else your design doesn't end up working. So I think it's just my general love of people.
Mm-hmm. Tell us one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years, please.
Consistently over the past 3 years? That's a good question. What, got woken up?
I've had that. I've had breathe, brush my teeth. Yeah, what's something that has happened consistently, even if it is inconsistency? One thing.
In terms of work?
It could be personal.
Well, in terms of work, it would be reading. Personal? Oh, I don't know. Loving my kids, my husband, I would say. That's pretty consistent, right?
Yeah. How does that make you feel? Loving them and seeing the returns of your love.
Oh, well, that's awesome, isn't it? I mean, that's how you end up that it helps to make sure that you don't end up divorced.
Shira, you are a ball. Tell me something, Shira. The artwork on your podcast logo, there's an arrow, what seems to be an arrow, a target, I'm guessing, and then there are two like border circles. Well, not circles, but two border lines.
So Hunter and Bard is my agency, and it's hunting for lead, sales, and market, and Bard is the storyteller, which is how we do it. So the arrow refers to the hunter. The lines that you're referring to is sound. So I guess you could say hunting for listeners.
Love it. Yeah, it seems as though you have a digital agency. I'm not sure that does marketing as well. It could be you, yeah. When you do something like that, most definitely, it represents a much deeper individual, doesn't it? Yes, it does. But there we go. Check it out, amazing audience. SaaS Insider Podcast. Again, Shira Abel. Shira, let's switch gears for a moment now and let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Shira, what is your earliest childhood memory?
Well, okay. So according, I vaguely, so it's between one of two. I don't actually know if I remember the first one. It's just a story that I'd heard over and over and over again. And that was of me climbing from my crib onto the top of the dresser, down by opening up drawers to escape my crib. My mother used to tell me that story. I'd heard it a million times. Apparently, I was some kind of escape artist. And it would be either that one, but the earliest that I can actually remember would be actually sitting in my father's best friend. His name was Herbert White, and I was sitting at his house watching a movie.
How old do you think you were?
I had to have been 3 or 4. He had this. So Herbert and Elma's had a mansion in Chicago, and my father actually worked for him. We don't come from that kind of money, but they just turned out to be best friends. But they met because my dad worked for him. But I remember their incredible house. They had this foyer that was all black marble, and this was the 70s. So that would be probably one of my earliest memories.
And why do you think this memory is so clear?
Because I ran through that foyer, tripped, fell, and crashed my lip open.
Ouch. Oh.
The same day I sat and watched the movie at their house. And their house was like really grand, okay? Really, really grand. And it was the first place I'd been to like that people actually lived in. So that would have probably, that could be why. And I have an interest in design, so of course, like all of it was.
There we go. Yeah, which was my next question. How do you see that memory connecting to who you are today?
Well, interest in design, obviously, and running forward, continually running forward. Maybe not necessarily looking as well as I should, but always running forward.
The movie. Do you remember the movie you were looking at?
No.
All right, cool. Well, can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind?
Sure.
The drama it takes sometimes to make a mark in a world that is full of extravagance.
Okay.
Sometimes it's a fall, right? Sometimes it's bloody, if you would.
I don't think there was a lot of blood. I think I just basically split my lip and that was about it.
I can imagine the drama that surrounded it, though. Definitely, I'm guessing everyone's attention was on you at that point.
Actually, I think they were all gone, and I was home with their maid. And then I think I just kind of dealt with it on my own.
Oh, really? Well, then
Yeah.
that definitely switches things around, because then it speaks to again the interpretation, right? It just speaks to who you are in terms of the way you, I'm guessing, the driven person in the company who handles the fires, and controls the fires, if you would.
Oh, yeah. That would be fairly accurate. I definitely. Well, I mean, look, I'm the head of the company. Of course I have to handle the fires. If I can't handle the fires, who will?
Well, it speaks to how you handle it. I'm guessing, it's a lot of the challenges are internalized and not flaming across the entire organization. Like, you handle your business then. I could
Yeah.
be wrong.
Does it? But I don't know. Doesn't everyone?
I
I would
do
assume.
not believe so.
Okay.
Like, I've seen some organizations where when something happens, instead of internalizing, okay, let's see how we can do this, and dampening the effects, if you would, the opposite. It's like everywhere is a fire. It's like,
No, that's no good. You get that. You get that, and you get a lot of turnover. That's no fun for anybody.
exactly. But it does happen. And I'm glad that you're not that person.
But thank you. I'm glad too.
If we fast forwarded to when you were 12, what was your favorite song?
When I was 12. Oh my gosh. I want to say the Go-Go's. Our Lips Are Sealed.
Ooh, amazing how it connects, right? Like you fell on your lip.
I'm trying to remember if that was even out then. I think that was it. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I didn't really get into the hardcore goth or punk music until high school. So 12, I'm pretty sure would have been Our Lips Are Sealed. Something like that. Yeah.
All right. Well, Shira, we have arrived at our destination. But before we get off of this time machine, there is a small declaration form. So it's yes or no, possibly a bit more. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready, Shira?
Sure.
Shira, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
I don't even know what that means. Do you mean like a child? Mean like somebody in my organization?
Who would you want to pass your skills to?
I do it all the time because I do a lot of mentoring. So, yeah.
Are you married?
But it's not one person. Okay, so I guess I've chosen many people to pass my skills on to. Am I married? Yes.
Do you have children?
I do.
Do you believe in God?
I do.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
I do.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No.
How about 3 hours a week?
No.
What about screen time, the phone and or the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Oh, more.
If you, Shira, had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents Shira Abel, what would you say that is?
That is far too much for me to think about in the 30 seconds I have to be able to give an answer.
All right. Give me a word that describes Shira.
Okay, if I'm going to have an ego, I would say intelligent. But I'll go instead with last night I gave a workshop, and part of the workshop it's on thought leadership, and I'm completely incapable, by the way, as you can see, of giving a quick answer to anything. So in the workshop, I had said, okay, well, if you want to know what people think of you, you can always ask your friends. And I did a screenshot of me asking my friends 4 words that describe me. And one word that popped up over and over again was intense.
Love it. So if you needed to make a statement with that, what would you say that statement is?
Probably intense if it's just one word.
All right. There we go. Well, Shira, this has been a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
If you're interested in knowing more, you can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Twitter at Shira Abel, ShiraAbel. If you're looking for PR or design, you can go to hunterandbard.com, HUNTERANDBARD.com. If you would like to be on SaaS Insider because you are a SaaS leader, that is software as a service, not SASE. Well, though you could be a SASE software as a service leader, you can contact me at contact us on hunterandbard.com. Thank you.
Intelligent. Shira, again, great pleasure. Thank you for being on what is inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Angel, thank you so much for reaching out.
You're welcome. Thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com, and for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.